Have you ever been in a situation when you're experiencing so much pain from the relationships of the people around you, and those same very people have their issues that make everyone else's problems even worse? Eventually, their problems become your problems, and the whole situation becomes completely unrepairable, in which everyone can't get what they want, no matter what they do. This is what this anime series is. It's a complete fiasco, a debacle. And that very much is Kuzu no Honkai, otherwise known as Scum's Wish. Before you go any further, be warned I will be spoiling a reasonable amount of the show that has aired thus far. Also, there will be some sexual and suggestive content in the show as well as in this video. So full disclaimer for those who may not be at an age that is suitable for the following content. For this season, I find that there is a lack of serious drama. Sure, you have Masamune-kun no Revenge and maybe Rewrite, which aren't that serious, but we also have Konosuba Season 2, Little Witch Academia, Demi-chan wa Katari Tai, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, etc, etc. However, a lot of these are just too lighthearted and therefore being fun to watch. Kuzu no Honkai, however, is for the true masochists out there. You definitely have to enjoy hating yourself if you actually enjoy watching this. Or you could just be someone who can really appreciate a good story when they see one. Full disclaimer, please don't hate yourself. All of you are just wonderful people, so please, don't. But besides from watching this for the purpose of inflicting emotional self-harm, you can't deny that you should consider watching this series for its brilliant display of storytelling and presentation, and I'll get more into that very soon. In the first few seconds, you'll instantly know whether this is for you or not, because they put you in very deep from the very start. From the start, you're placed into the inner struggle of a girl named Hanabi, who just doesn't know what to do knowing that the person she loves so dearly can never be together with her. The situation is, she has deep romantic feelings for her older childhood friend, whose name is Kanae Narumi, who is now her high school teacher who she affectionately calls Oni-chan. Due to the age gap, she believes that there can never be anything romantic between them. At the same time, there is another student named Mugi, who is also in love with someone from his past, Minagawa Akane, who also so happens to be a teacher at their school as well. He is placed in a similar situation of not being able to be with her. And guess what? Hanabi's crush, Narumi, likes her. Oh wow, fuck me, this is a disaster. What is going on? At this point, I'm telling myself this cannot possibly get any worse. And later on, I realized I cannot be any more wrong. Two people who just so happen to be placed in an unfortunate position in their lives find refuge in each other in a sexual-like relationship. I say like because the characters claim that their relationship isn't sexual because they haven't done it yet. But come on, how is this not sexual? Even though they're just kissing, I guess. But they're kissing with an immense amount of passion that makes me argue that their relationship isn't a tiny bit sexual. There are some lighthearted moments, but they easily and quickly get overshadowed by the depressing reality that is their complicated love lives. That wasn't a Love Live reference, by the way. I'm not joking, they try really hard to crack jokes and lighten things up to create some breather from the depressing drama, but it really doesn't help. However, I did get a good laugh from a surprise cameo of a certain song from a certain popular anime series that you all probably heard of. For those of you who had no idea what that was, it was Seishun Kyosou Kyokyu, the 5th opening for the original Naruto anime series. I thought it was a humorous throwback to just include it out of nowhere like that. Anyways, getting back on track, before you start the series, or maybe in the first minute or so, oh, it's going to be like what, 6 to 8 episodes before anything actually important is going to happen, right? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. They just got straight into it immediately. You don't even get a chance to take in what is happening before realizing that everything is just going wrong. Regarding Hana and Mugi partway into it, I get a slight suspicion, a tiny feeling that they might, just a small possibility, that they could end up possibly, genuinely, fall for each other, maybe? Sure, they may say it's a no strings attached kind of relationship, but it's obvious that's not the direction they are going. In my opinion, it's kind of similar to a Nizuko type of situation if you think about it. If you're a couple episodes in, by now you're probably at the point where you're like, alright, they're just going to be routinely doing this thing that they promised in which they use each other to comfort themselves from the people they truly love. I'm so sorry that this is not the case. It just gets worse. It just keeps getting worse. It can't stop getting worse. I'm being really repetitive here, but at least I'm getting my point across. Just a quick remark I wanted to mention, one small critique that bothers me a bit is reinforcing the idea that almost everyone in high school is a sexually frustrated animal. I mean, everybody is thirsty and just looking at everyone as though they were objects. I kind of feel bad watching it, but at the same time it is very compelling to watch. I'm not really into these type of genres, but the way the story is told is just well done. Deep inner struggle for everyone to go around. The storyboard writers spare no expense. Animation was brilliantly well done. You can tell that most if not everything is hand-drawn, which is my personal favorite style of animation. Outlines were very crisp that accentuate the display of every character and very clean. Lots of details in various areas. I mean, look at that. They actually animated the dimming of her phone. Okay, you caught me. I'm looking at her legs too, but I'm looking at both, okay? But in all seriousness, I really like it when studios do small things like that. The studio Daruke did a really good job of preserving the artistic traits from the manga into it. Admittedly, I don't watch that much sexual content. I can say that those scenes were very well done as well. Very passionate and full of emotions that isn't extremely sexual when you think about it. It's mostly just a lot of kissing, and by a lot, I mean a lot. I'm not talking about the normal kind either. There can be a lot of tongue in this. And for those of you who would for some reason call this ecchi, now that's just being unreasonable. It's only natural for a series with a heaping amount of drama and romantic tension to include scenes like these. So in no way did I feel like any of those passionate love scenes were there for the sake of fan service whatsoever. Besides that, background and scenery were pretty standard. Vivid, bright, and full of color, especially the scenes of the coming of spring with sakura leaves in full bloom flowing in the air. Very nice to look at. As for the characters, just know that as the title says, everybody is scum. That's right, nobody is spared. Because one of these characters just so happens to be disgustingly sadistic. But besides that, I don't even like any of the characters in this series, to be honest, because the show really tries to make you hate them. Everyone is just so self-righteous, so self-fulfilled, self-centered, conceited, and manipulative. So definitely, the character's likability shouldn't be the reason you're watching this. Unless you're going by just appearances, then well, that's a different story. Oh man, these characters make my head spin. I don't know how to describe these characters without sounding like someone I don't want to be. Actually, hold up, give me a second. Hey KohzzyJo, you there?
Yeah, what up man, what you doing? And what you want?
I need you to like say something in my video, but I don't want to use the word I'm thinking of in it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're making a video, okay. What word exactly?
It starts with a C, but ends with a K.
Cock?
What?
I don't know
what are you
talking about, man.
Damn, you got a sick mind, man.
Hey, man, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry.
It's about a group of people that like each other, but not the person they are in a relationship with. So for every character, the person they like is interested in someone else. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of messed up. I think you actually like it, considering the type of stuff you like.
Oh, yeah. The word you're looking for is, they're cucks. Cucks, yeah, cucks.
Oh God, man. Hearing that word just gives me a... Fuck, I wanted to say I really hate hearing that word, but you're right. Fuck. They're
Why are you censoring yourself, man?
Dude, because I'm gonna hate myself later when I like look back at this video. I'm gonna hear myself say and then, oh fuck, I said it. I mean, I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life. I already had one video, you know, that I raised review video, that had that shit in there.
Dude, it's fine, dude. Cucks, man. It's a meme now. Everyone's saying cuck.
Hey, cause you actually enjoy the genre for some weird reason. You like NTR and Netarare and stuff like that.
Aw, damn, hey, man, you got me, man. Man, I love School Days, White Album 2, and True Tears, man. And just mangas that revolves around that shit. It's amazing. I just love it.
Aw, Ko, you don't understand, man. I keep thinking about deleting that video every day just because I use that word. What'd I do?
Oh, man, but he literally got he got cucked.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There's really no other way to describe it. Except in this case, it's for everybody. Like, everybody got, you know, that word. By the way, dude, why does your facial expression like never change? Like ever?
Hey man, you know me. You know my situation right now. I got no monies, man, and I can't afford that shit.
You got money, man. Your fucking family's rich.
Hey! Keep down the down low, man.
Fine, man. Alright, whatever, Ko. You can leave now. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, whatever, man. Peace.
You disappoint me to no end. Okay, you probably didn't get anything out of that besides our stupidity. But the point is that everyone's cheating on each other, and how disgusting the situation has become because of that. There are very little flaws, at least in my opinion, of this series. Visuals are stunningly brilliant, that are very detailed. I'd say the only downside to this is that it's not for everyone, and I say this in the most extreme extent possible, but this fact of not being compatible for everyone is universal and can literally apply to anything. Ultimately though, this fact is what it really comes down to when considering watching this series or not. If you can appreciate and enjoy well done but depressingly captivating storytelling, this is probably the series for you. If you can't handle this amount of emotional disaster, maybe just take it slow but still watch it, or just not watch it, I guess, if you're really sensitive. Or you can make it be a love-hate relationship in which you'll be thinking, wow, this series is so brilliantly well done and remarkable, literally no flaws or weaknesses whatsoever, I just love it. But I really regret watching it for this deep emotional pain that will scar me for the rest of my life. Okay, maybe it won't go that far, but you get the point. This show is simply not for everyone, but at the same time, everyone should watch it, I guess? Let's face it, you're going to be conflicted either way, and if you're a sadist, masochist, or an actual scumbag yourself, everything I just said means nothing, and you should be able to watch with little to no consequences to your psyche and emotional health. To answer the question in the title of this video, there's nothing wrong with this series, and at the same time, everything is wrong with this series. For those looking for the less ambiguous answer or less bullshit answer, objectively it is amazingly well done, but subjectively it can be controversially, unsatisfyingly unpleasant to watch. Hope you found this video helpful. I actually made the decision to make this video due to a suggestion, or rather through the exchange I had with someone in the comments on one of my other videos. You know who you are. Feel free to comment yourself as well on what you want to see from me, or on what you think of Kuzu no Honkai. I'm always looking forward to seeing them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.